You guys, I am so excited. And Don, I'm so proud of what you're doing. I'm excited because you've heard me talk about my mom in the past. And I'm actually here with her right now in Florida. And I'm looking at her mortgage statement.
Yes.
And her mortgage statement is unbelievable because
Hmm.
I'm looking at it and I'm like, Mom, you're only paying $107.98 towards your principal. And the interest is almost three times that. The
Hmm.
interest is $287.33
Hmm.
in interest. So her total payment is $614.33.
Hmm.
And the outstanding principal is 62,689.
Mm.
So I'm like, Ma, I gotta have you talk to Mr. Don because he's gonna help you cancel out some of this interest.
Well, listen,
So
Miss
she's
Tracy.
right here.
Miss
She's
Miss Tracy. Miss Tracy.
uh
I got a
huh.
question for you. Based on what you've
Absolutely.
learned so far, what can she do with that teeny tiny principal payment?
Well, you know what? She's standing right here by me. She's standing right here by me. So
Yes.
I want you to walk her through this so she can see with her own two eyes.
Okay, so let's do that. We're going to put that up on the screen, okay, for you right
Okay.
now. All right, so we're going to add this up, the principal and interest payment. So how much was principal again?
Her principal is $107.98.
$107.98. Okay, I got it. Plus the interest.
Her interest is 287.33.
Okay, 287.33. All right, and that equals 395.31. All right, that's just the principal and interest.
Right.
Now we're going to put that into our 395.31. We're going to put that in here, 395.31, 395.31, right? Okay. And now, what is the interest rate on this loan?
The interest rate is 5.5%.
5.5%. All right. And you have the principal balance there. How much do we owe?
62,689.48.
62,689.48.
Yes.
Okay, now watch this. Watch this. It's going to tell us how many payments we have left. Okay. We have
Should have left.
284 payments. I'm assuming it was a 30-year loan.
Yes, she refinanced about 5 years ago.
Okay, refinance about 5 years ago. So this is where we are now. About 284 payments left. Okay. And we have $395.16. This is what we're looking at. Now, here's the first thing we need to know. When we refinanced 3 days before closing, you received information on the refinance, and it showed you 5 years ago, right? You would have to see this because they started this in October of 2015, where you received your paperwork 3 days before closing with your interest rate. And not only with the interest rate, but they had to tell you what is the total interest paid as a percentage of principal, which means 79% of what you borrowed, you'd have to pay in interest over the 30 years. That's what we're talking about. That's why it's so expensive. So now, what did you say your next principal payment is right around 107.83?
107.98.
Okay, 107.90.
Close enough.
Right. Okay. So this is next month's payment. Okay. So here's what we're looking at. So, ma'am, when you're paying this much money, all right, let's take a look at this month's payment, right? How much principal do we pay next month? Are you looking at this, Tracy?
I am.
Okay.
107.83.
All right, 107.83. That's this month. So how much would we pay next month?
108.
Okay.
30.
Based on what you know to be true, do we have to wait till next month to give the bank the 108.33?
No.
No. If we had it, could we give it to the bank this month, ma'am?
Yes.
If we did, we'd be paid down to line 2 already.
Mhm.
And our next mortgage payment would be on line 3 of our schedule. we can knock out line 2 with just $108.33, not your whole payment. Is that good information?
Right. Yes,
And guess
definitely.
what happens to this $286.83 in interest on line 2? Guess what happens to that?
What?
It goes away. You never have to pay that.
Oh.
So
Wow.
here's what I'm
Great.
talking about, folks. Normally, a 5.5 interest rate, people see that and says 5.5, I can get 2.8 at the bank right now. 2.9. All right. So let me show you, if you're thinking about refinancing this loan to get 2.9, let me show you what happens. Okay. So we have the same amount of money. All right. And we're going to lower this interest rate to all the way to 2.9. My goodness. All right. Now look at, and we're even going to keep the same number of payments. Now, I would normally suggest that, but let's keep the same number of payments. Now, let's take a look at our payment now. Whoop, drop down to 305. Oh my goodness. We're down to 305 now. And now look at this. All right. We're down to $24,000 in interest left to pay. And we're down to 38%. But here's what I want you to see. Okay. Here's what I want you to see. We were at, before, our principal payment to get rid of one payment was how much?
107.83.
Right. And so now,
108.
right. When I lower the interest rate, now how much do I have to pay to get rid of it? Wait till it changes. How much do I have to pay now on line 2?
154.58.
Which is easier to pay, the 108 or the 154?
108.
Why are the banks trying to get us to refinance just so that it makes it harder for us to pay the loan off early?
Right. They want to make money.
That's exactly, ma'am. Exactly. So this is why we have this room, so people can see the difference. Because when we lower the interest rate, we just assume it's better because we've been told it's better. But nobody did the math to figure out why it's better. Knowing why it's better is way better than being told it's better.
But Don has some valuable information that can contribute to the quality of a person's life. And it only costs you a few dollars. It's his book. Why not get that?
I'm going to go through the P.I.L.L method myself with some of my investment properties. So I'm going to link up with Don, and then I'm going to sit down with him, show him my investment portfolio, and see how I can eliminate interest.